Welcome to a video that your future self is desperately waiting for you to watch. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right this second. This is not another soft, feel-good motivational talk. This is a wake-up call. We are here to talk about getting back on your feet when the rest of the world has already counted you out. We are here to look your past in the eye and declare that you are not finished yet. Let us be real for a moment. You have been distracted. You have been playing small. You have been hiding behind excuses, acting like you have all the time in the world. But deep down, you know exactly what is going on. You lost faith in yourself, but not anymore. Consider this video a mirror. You are going to hear the hard truths you have been avoiding. No filters, no sugarcoating, just raw power and pain turned into fuel. So do not just watch this. Feel it. Let these words hit your mind and your heart. Let them burn through your veins like fire. By the time this is over, you will remember who you are, what you came here to do, and why you started this journey in the first place. This is your second chance. Before we dive in, if you are truly serious about changing your life, improving your mindset, and sharpening your English, stay focused. This is not entertainment. This is a transformation. Lesson 1. The command to move. Let us start with the most powerful instruction you will ever need. Get up. Work hard. That is the simple, brutal truth you have been running away from. You feel tired? Get up. You feel sad? Get up. You are dealing with a broken heart? Get up. You feel lost or broke? Get up. Because if you stay down, nothing in your life will ever change. You see, reality does not care how you feel. Your goals do not care if you had a bad day. The dream you abandoned is still waiting for you, but it will not wait forever. The version of you that gave up is still alive, still making choices for you. It is the part of you that chooses the comfort of sleep over discipline, the part that picks endless scrolling over actual progress. But here is the secret. The only way out is through. You want a better life? Do not just pray for it, work for it. You want confidence? Train for it. You want respect? Earn it. There is no magic trick. There is no secret shortcut. There is only one command. Get up and work hard. While you are waiting for the perfect time to start, someone else is out there building your dream using your exact level of talent. The difference? They refused to quit. They woke up when it was cold. They worked when they felt like giving up. They pushed through the pain, not because it was easy, but because they had one rule. I will never stop until I become what I promised I would be. So ask yourself, how much longer are you going to wait? How much more of your life will you waste? No matter how broken you feel, you can still stage a comeback. But that only happens if you get up and work harder than you ever have before. The first rule of transformation is simple. Do not negotiate with pain. Do not argue with comfort. And do not wait for motivation. You just move. You just get up and do the work. Lesson 2. The lane shift. There is one quiet habit that is silently wrecking your confidence, draining your peace, and robbing you of your future. It is not laziness, it is not fear, and it is not even failure. It is this. You are far too busy watching everyone else. You are obsessing over their highlight reels, their bodies, their bank accounts, their followers, and their seemingly perfect lives. You scroll and scroll and scroll. And with every single swipe, you are conditioning your brain to believe that you are falling behind, that you are just not enough. But here is the truth that nobody tells you. You will never become a person of power if you are always staring at the power of others. You were not born to live as a background character in someone else's success story. Your life is not a reaction to their timeline. If you want to win, you need to hear this clearly. Focus on yourself, not on them. Stop asking what they are doing, how far ahead they are, or what they might think of you. Instead, start asking, am I getting better? Did I improve today? Am I moving toward my goals or away from them? Is the person I am becoming today something my future self will be proud of? That is the switch. You do not grow by watching others. You grow by watching yourself. You do not gain confidence by admiring someone else's trophy case. You build it through your own discipline, your own habits, and your own hard-won victories. If your energy is spent staring at their lane, who is left to build yours? Think of a runner in a marathon. If he keeps looking to the left and right to see who is ahead or behind, he loses his rhythm. He trips. He slows down. That is exactly what is happening to you. You are checking their race, so you are failing in your own. Winners do not look around. They look forward and they look inward. Social media is not inherently evil, but it is dangerous when you lack direction. You see a perfect body and feel inadequate. You see a thriving business and feel broke. You see a happy relationship and feel lonely. But here's the secret. Everyone is editing their life. Nobody is showing you the years of doubt, the debt, the panic, or the failures behind the scenes. So why are you comparing your reality to their performance? If you want peace, start by cleaning up your environment. Unfollow anyone who makes you feel less than. Mute the noise. Pour all that wasted attention back into your own life. Every time you feel that urge to compare, pause. Ask yourself what you need to improve right now. Is it your mindset, your morning routine, your discipline, your health? Whatever it is, obsess over your own growth. Here is your new rule. From today on, I do not compare, I calculate. I calculate how far I have come. I calculate which habits are holding me back. I calculate what I need to fix today. You do not need to be better than them. You need to be unrecognizable compared to the version of you from last year. Tell yourself, I am building me. I am sculpting my future. Their timeline is not my deadline. I focus on myself and I rise. Lesson 3. Identity surgery. Let's get brutal for a moment. The problem in your life is not the economy, your past, or a lack of luck. Those are just symptoms. The real problem is that you are still letting a weak version of yourself hold the steering wheel. You are harboring a version of you that constantly chooses the path of least resistance, comfort over growth, excuses over effort, and staying in bed over showing up. As long as this weak identity is in charge, your potential will remain locked away. You don't need more motivation. You need an elimination process. Understand this. The weak version of you isn't necessarily evil or lazy. It is just untrained. It was forged in the fires of comfort zones, endless scrolling, and half-hearted attempts. This version loves to negotiate with pain. It loves to say things like, I'll start on Monday, or I'm just too tired today. It is a master of self-deception, and it is slowly stealing your life. You cannot build a legacy while protecting a fragile ego. You cannot become a person of discipline while you are still loyal to your desire for comfort. So, what has to happen? The weak version of you must die. Not physically, but mentally and emotionally. You need to kill it off, habit by habit, decision by decision. Think of an athlete training for a championship. Every time they push past the point where their muscles burn and their mind screams at them to stop, they are effectively killing the weak version of themselves. They are replacing that weakness with strength. Pain is not a punishment in this process. Pain is the tool of replacement. It is the friction that burns away the old you so a new, tougher version can emerge. From now on, stop asking, do I feel like doing this? Or, is this easy? Start asking, what would the strongest version of me do right now? Every time you choose discipline over ease, you are starving that weak identity. Every time you wake up early, it loses its grip. Every time you work when you have every reason to quit, it suffocates. People want the transformation, but they refuse to embrace the discomfort. They want the outcome without the process. That is impossible. You cannot keep the old you and expect a new life. One of them has to go. If a habit feels comfortable but keeps you stagnant, kill it. Kill the habit of hitting the snooze button. Kill the habit of doubting your own worth. Kill the habit of waiting for someone else's permission. Do this not just once, but every single day. Say it out loud. The old me is not allowed in my future. Comfort is my enemy, and discipline is my path. I am becoming someone I have never been before. You are not broken, and you are not finished. You are simply carrying a version of yourself that has overstayed its welcome. Evict it and start building the real you. Lesson 4. The Revenge of Results. There was a time when people believed in your potential, but maybe now those same people have stopped checking in. Perhaps they laugh at your ideas, ignore your progress, or have simply written you off. But here is the uncomfortable truth. You probably gave them a reason to doubt. You started with a spark, but then you let the fire die out. You made big promises, but then you got comfortable. You had a dream, but you let your pain become your favorite excuse. And slowly, the applause faded into silence, and then into skepticism. Some might even call you a quitter now. They say you talk a big game, but never follow through. That you dream big, but stay exactly where you are. Let them say it. In fact, let them talk all they want, because you are about to give them a much better story to tell. Most people let rejection break them, but the greats, they use it. They take that doubt, that laughter, and that abandonment, and they turn it into high-octane fuel. Instead of wasting energy trying to convince others of your worth, you look them in the eye and say, "Watch me now." Imagine someone who was constantly overlooked or mocked during their early years. No confidence, no clear direction, and everyone had already labeled them as a failure. But instead of chasing validation from people who didn't matter, this person started chasing their own discipline. They went silent. They stopped posting updates, they stopped bragging, and they stopped seeking approval. They just built. 5 years later, they walk back into the room, transformed. They have a different energy, a different level of success, and a quiet confidence that commands respect. The same people who doubted them are now left wondering, how did that happen? We didn't see that coming. That is the power of the comeback. You don't need to argue, and you don't need to explain yourself. Results are the only language that matters. Let your physical health, your financial growth, your ability to speak with fluency, and your daily consistency speak for you. Every single day you prove them wrong by doing the work they said you couldn't do. Wake up early when they expect you to hit snooze. Study when they think you're wasting time. Train when they call you weak. Work when they call you lazy. Stop the noise. If you want true revenge, go dark, go quiet. Work in the shadows, build your empire, and one day, when your results are so loud they can no longer be ignored, you walk back into the room. You don't need to say a word. The silence will say everything that needs to be said. Don't waste your breath trying to change their minds. Change your life instead. You don't owe them a comeback. You owe it to the version of you that never stopped believing. Turn their doubt into your engine and keep climbing. Lesson 5. The End of Excuses. Let's dismantle the most dangerous lie you have ever told yourself. You know the one. I did not have enough time, I was too tired, I was not ready. I will just start tomorrow. This lie is seductive because it feels safe. It protects your ego and keeps you from feeling the weight of your own inaction. But here is the cold, hard truth. Excuses are nothing more than poison disguised as comfort. Every single time you make one, you are shielding your present self while murdering your future. You claim, I am not motivated. But you don't need motivation, you need movement. You say, I am exhausted. But the truth is, you are simply undisciplined. You complain about having a long day, but you had the same 24 hours as everyone else who is winning. What did you actually do with them? Excuses always sound like legitimate reasons in your head, but if you stack them up, they become the bars of your own prison. Imagine two people starting from the exact same place. One says, I can't do it. I don't have the resources. The other says, I have 10 minutes. I will make them count. 5 years later, the first person is still stuck in the same spot, blaming the world. The second person is thriving because they refused to excuse their weakness. That is the difference. It is not luck, it is not your IQ, and it is not your bank account. It is the choice to prioritize discipline over excuses every single time. To break this cycle, you need to go through 3 steps. First, become hyper-aware of your own language. When you catch yourself saying, I can't, or I don't have, treat those words like red flags. Stop immediately. Second, ask yourself, what would the highest version of me do right now? Not the tired you, not the scared you, but the version of you that is already winning. Then do exactly that, even if it is just a small step. Third, make excuses painful. Write them down, read them at night, and realize that every time you write one, you are choosing to stay average. Do that enough times, and your brain will start to crave the change instead of the comfort. Excuses are just lies you tell to stay small. Comfort is the enemy, and action is the only cure. Choose the temporary pain of discipline now, so you do not have to live with the permanent regret of what could have been. The world does not care about your story or your reasons. It only cares about your results. If you keep protecting your excuses, you will never be able to protect your dream. From this moment forward, no more stories, no more justifications, no more waiting. Just results. No excuses. Lesson 6. The virus of doubt. Let me ask you a tough question. When exactly did you decide that you weren't good enough? Was it when someone laughed at your vision? When an authority figure told you to be realistic? Or perhaps it was that one time you failed and decided it was safer to never try again. Somewhere along the way, you started letting a whisper in your head become your reality. That voice tells you that you aren't ready, that you'll fail again, or that people will judge you. But here is the truth that will set you free. That voice is a liar. Self-doubt is not a sign of intelligence or caution. It is a virus. It is a mental program installed by your past failures and the judgments of others, and it runs in the background of your mind without your permission. It always shows up at the exact moment you are about to step out of your comfort zone. Why? Because doubt has one sole purpose: to keep you safe inside the cage you have built for yourself. Imagine a lion that has spent its entire life in a small, cramped enclosure. It is fed on a schedule, it is controlled, and it is predictable. Then, one day, the gate is left wide open. The path to freedom is clear, but the lion doesn't move. It keeps walking in the same small circle because, in its mind, it is still trapped. That is exactly what your doubt is doing to you. The cage is gone, the obstacles were mostly in your head, but your brain is still walking in circles. Every time you doubt yourself, you are stealing from your future. You shrink your voice, you lower your standards, and you hold back your potential. Years go by, and you look back, realizing you didn't fail because you lacked the talent. You failed because you lacked the belief. Stop asking, "Can I actually do this?" and start asking, "How can I make this happen, step by step?" When you ask if you can, you've already given the power to your fear. When you ask how, you shift your brain into problem-solving mode. Stack evidence against your doubt. Write down every challenge you have survived, every skill you have mastered, and every time you pushed through when you wanted to quit. That is your proof. Read it, own it, and tell yourself that if you survived that, you can handle this. Do not trust your emotions. They are fickle. Trust your effort. Your feelings will lie to you, but your grind will always tell the truth. Do the work and let the results build your confidence for you. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by your potential. Every expert you admire was once an amateur who was just as unsure as you are. Doubt creates absolutely nothing, but action creates everything. If you don't believe in yourself, you will spend your entire life begging for validation from people who don't even believe in themselves. Enough of that. It is time to walk like you matter. It is time to speak like you mean it. Stop doubting, start proving, and remember, you aren't here to be perfect. You are here to be powerful. Lesson 7. The Law of Change. Let's dismantle one more lie that has destroyed more potential than failure ever could. The idea that life will just get better on its own. You might be telling yourself that next year will be different, or that a lucky break is just around the corner. But here is the brutal reality. Nothing changes unless you do. Life is not a lottery. It is a mirror. Your current circumstances are not a result of fate or bad luck. They are a direct reflection of who you are right now. If you keep the same habits, the same thought patterns, and the same low standards, then the next 12 months will look exactly like the last 12. You will just be more tired, more frustrated, and more stuck. Millions of people make the same empty resolutions every single year, but they carry the exact same baggage with them. They don't change their system, so they don't change their results. Read this slowly. You do not get what you wish for, and you do not get what you hope for. You only get what you are willing to change for. If you want to be fit, you have to change your discipline. If you want financial freedom, you have to change your skills. If you want to speak English with total confidence, you have to change your daily habits. If you want to be respected, you have to change how you respect yourself. Stop setting vague goals and start building systems that force improvement. Audit your entire life today. Look at your morning routine, your distractions, the people you spend time with, and the mental loops you get stuck in. Fix what is broken, cut out what is toxic, and double down on what actually works. Change does not require a massive overnight effort. It requires consistent, daily execution. Start small, but be ruthless. Kill one bad habit today. Build one good habit today. Repeat that tomorrow. If you don't change, nothing else will. Your habits are the architects of your reality. There is no future for the person who refuses to evolve. You don't need a miracle. You need to become the person who makes the miracle happen. You don't need more time. You need a firm decision to kill the old version of yourself. The dream you are chasing is waiting for a new version of you to arrive. So make the choice to change, right now, today, and forever. Lesson 8. The 1% Rule. You don't need to be perfect, and you certainly don't need to have every single detail mapped out. You don't need to sprint toward your finish line, but you must move every single day. Growth is not a one-time event. It is a daily commitment to being undeniably better than you were yesterday. Here's the reality that most people miss. Success isn't about intensity. It is about consistency. You can work like a maniac for one day and still fail. You can be hyper-motivated for 1 week and still end up back at square one. But if you wake up every morning and pledge to improve by just 1%, you are playing a game that you cannot lose. Time is like compound interest. If you put in a little bit of effort every day, the results multiply. If you keep this up for 6 months, a year, or 3 years, you will become someone that the people around you won't even recognize. Take your English, for example. If you learn just one new word, master one new sentence, or practice one new thought every single day, you aren't the same person after 30 days. After 90 days, you speak with a confidence you never thought possible. After a year, people will be asking you how you became so fluent. That is the miracle of daily improvement. What should you be improving daily? Start with your mind. Read something that challenges your perspective. Write down your thoughts to clear the mental clutter. Question your own doubts. Then move to your body. Even 15 minutes of movement will train your brain to value physical discipline. Look at your energy. Cut out one toxic thing every day, whether that is negative overthinking, mindless scrolling, or junk food that drains your batteries. Replace it with one powerful habit, like deep breathing, a cold shower, or simply talking to yourself in English. If you are learning a skill, be it communication, fitness, or memory, do a little bit every day. No 0 days. You don't rise because you are motivated. You rise because you have built systems that make growth inevitable. Every single day, tell yourself, my only goal is to be 1% better than yesterday. I am not chasing quick results. I am planting seeds. I am not competing with anyone else. I am in the middle of a total transformation. If I improve daily, success is not just a possibility, it is a guarantee. Most people are living on autopilot. They wake up, survive the day, and hit the pillow, wondering why nothing ever changes. But not you. You have chosen the path of growth. You have accepted that daily discomfort is the price of admission for a better life. Even if it feels slow, keep going. Because one day, when people look at your life and ask, how did you become like this? Your answer will be simple. I improved myself every single day. That is all. Lesson 9. The Dream Recall. There was a time when your dream was the center of your universe. Back then, you woke up with a fire in your belly, genuinely believing that the world was yours for the taking. The vision was pure, the ambition was real, and the possibilities felt infinite. That was before the world told you to be realistic. That was before you let fatigue, distraction, and the weight of daily life dim your spark. Let me ask you, do you still remember that dream? Do you remember the feeling of imagining a life that was miles beyond your current reality? A life of true freedom, of impact, of building something that actually matters? That wasn't just a fantasy. It was a signal from your future self, a blueprint of what you are capable of becoming. But you forgot. Life got loud, fear got louder, and pain became too comfortable to ignore. So, before you close this tab and return to the noise, I need you to remember. Imagine someone standing at the edge of a cliff. Behind them lies everything they know, the excuses, the safety, the laziness, and the fear. Ahead of them is the unknown, the scary, beautiful path toward their dream. Most people turn back because the path behind them is familiar and warm. Their dream dies there, not because they lacked the ability, but because they lost sight of what they once believed in. That is how most people end up, not broken by tragedy, but just numb. But you are not most people. You are still here, still listening, and something inside you is still fighting to stay alive. Dreams don't vanish in a single day. They fade in pieces. First, you stop planning. Then you stop trying. Then you stop talking about it. And finally, you stop believing altogether. But right now, we are flipping the script. We are rebuilding the flame. We are restarting the engine. Say it with me. I still remember my dream. I was born to build it. I don't need permission from anyone else. I just need to move. I am not finished. This has not been a standard motivational video. It has been a mirror and a direct command. You only get one life, one set of chances, and one finite amount of time. Don't waste it. Take the fire you feel right now. Hold on to the pain that has been holding you back and use it as fuel to make a firm decision. You are not giving up. You are not staying the same. You are becoming the person no one expected you to be. Get up, work hard, focus on yourself, kill the weak version, prove everyone wrong, and never, ever let go of your dream. Build it now, starting this very second, no matter what it takes.